Sure, what we wanted to talk about today is we wanted to talk about the impact that engagement has on the overall well-being of all employees and how engagement can really drive performance. And so we mainly focused on how do you drive engagement with a diverse culture when we have employees of 40,000, in excess of 40,000, over 100 nationalities. We talked a lot about that and some of the 6 strategic pillars that all organizations can help use to drive engagement within their workforce. Well, I mean, I would summarize that really in 3 points. First, if you're engaged at work, you have a much better chance of having a thriving, well-being life. That means your overall life will be so much better if you like work. Secondly, from an organizational perspective, if you're engaged, research has shown over and over again, you will eventually make more money for the organization. Organizations are more profitable when you have engaged employees. And the third piece of engagement is it's good for societies overall. Sure. I mean, we can talk about 3 examples. I mean, within engagement, we have an ambassador program, where we've stated a program of these ambassadors that are our engagement champions across the business. We've brought them from the business, they're embedded in the business, and their job is to live engagement day in and day out with the managers, with the teams, in their showrooms, in the retail centers, etc. So we don't want to make engagement as a once-in-a-year initiative where you just survey, measure, and then see how it improves. We want all employees and managers to live it day in and day out. So that's one of the initiatives that we do at Al-Futtaim. The second piece is we always link engagement to business outcomes. So a lot of our initiatives goes to look at our high engagement teams and how they are better able to provide a much better customer experience than the rest, because at Al-Futtaim, customer experience is at the heart of what we do when adding value. Top tips is, like every other program, it starts with leadership. They cannot delegate this to HR only or the other managers. Leaders have to take this themselves seriously. And so if they buy an engagement, if they actually demonstrate how they do engagements with their own managing directors, then this program has a much better chance of cascading through the organization. They can't delegate it, they have to lead by example. So first and foremost, I think that's the most important thing. The second thing you gotta look at is how do you build capabilities within the organization, because a lot of managers who become people's managers maybe are not familiar with the program and don't know how to drive it. So you really have to spend a lot of time building capabilities within managers to be able to drive the program. And thirdly, always outline the benefits, because you just don't want to manage the metric, you actually really want to improve business outcomes. So these are the top 3 tips that comes to mind for organizations to really improve engagement. I think a lot of the speakers, a lot of the attendees that I've spoken to, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of collaboration, and kind of trying to understand what best practices are in different organizations that we can learn from, and then take it back to our organization to kind of embed some of the best practices from the region. Because a lot of times you see organizations doing this in the US or in the West. Some of it might be applicable and good, but others we want to see some practices that are done here that we can cascade throughout the Middle East.